Good evening. I'm coming to you to discuss my classroom webpage that I created for a master's class that I'm in, Instructional 6213, but it's also one that I can incorporate and use in my current classroom that I teach in. The first page, our home page, sits there and it talks about just our school. If you click on the next page, it's welcome to our class. It talks about our pre-K class and what we're learning, our goals, just kind of an overview of our class. The next page is Meet Miss Jones. So all about me. As you can see, here I am with my daughter. And as you can see, I love Disney, Auburn. My daughter was a member of the AUMB, the Auburn University Marching Band. They put in a lot of long hours, and that's kind of where you can see me on the weekends, is in Auburn or at Jordan-Hare Stadium. As you can see, there's the whole family as we got ready to watch her do pregame. And this lovely picture right here, well, when they have an 11 or 11:30 game, they see the sunrise because they're on the field by 4:30 or 5 o'clock in the morning, which a lot of us are still in bed. But she does work hard, and I am proud of her. We go to our classroom expectations, and as you can see right here, we've got our rules and procedures. I kind of keep them very simple. We are nice to our friends, kind, keeping our hands and feet to ourselves, raising hands, taking turns. Also, our goals, just goals for pre-K, transitional kindergarten. We want to make sure that they are prepared for their next step, which would be kindergarten. And most of them go to a private school in Montgomery or test into Magnet. Also on this page, it talks about natural consequences and calming corners. We talk a lot about green choices and red choices. And if they do make a red choice, we talk about what we could do better, what would make that a green choice, kind of why we made the choice we did. So it's all about natural consequences, and we just want to get them to think about their actions. The next page is our classroom information. This goes over our daily schedule, and then special events, themes, holidays, just any kind of special event that we might be having throughout the year. Classroom news, as you can see, I already have October, September, and August. We've been in school for 3 months. I've gone ahead and created a spot for each month that we are in school, and we do go in it this summer. But as you can see, some of our special events are in there, like Apple Day, our pumpkin patch, our Halloween party. And this, of course, is how you can contact me, of course. You can't contact me by an eagle or a crow or an owl, as in Hogwarts, but you can contact me by text or cell. And of course, our Class Dojo page, our Facebook page is a private page. I take privacy very seriously. It is private and hidden, and you have to be asked to join. So there's nobody on there that is not asked to join, and is also not vetted through me. So I have to make sure that I'm selecting that they can join our page. So I do keep it very secure for Facebook because, like I said, I do take privacy very seriously. YouTube, any links that we might have, I'll share them here. I'll probably share them another spot in my webpage, but just any thing that we might have that would help your children at home, but also the overview of this video could be found right here. As you come right here, we have our the classroom letter, the welcome letter that I gave to you at the beginning of the year, kind of my favorites, how you can contact me, a little bit of background about myself. Then the next page is our weekly homework and classwork. Now in K4, I don't expect for there to be much homework or classwork. I mean, we do classwork, and we do also learn through discovery and play. But every week you will see something that comes home, and as you can see, things you can do at home for both reading and language arts and for math. These are things that we are working on throughout the week. Our letter of the week, the sounds, the phonetics, if we're working on rhymes. Also with math, counting. Right now we're working on patterns. What comes before and after. So you will see that come home in your child's folder, and that way you can kind of help your children at home and also just reiterate the skills we are learning. And also fine motor skills. We are continuing to develop those fine motor skills, such as tearing and cutting and gluing. So there's definitely some things that you can do at home to help in that aspect and just develop those fine motor skills, especially in our hands. Right here is also a link to Is Your Child Ready for Kindergarten? And we will definitely discuss this a little bit more in depth as we go throughout the year. But if your child can do the majority of these things, and we will be learning a lot of these as we go throughout this year, then yes, your child will be ready for kindergarten. But we definitely will conference with that later on. But I just wanted to give that to you so you can see some skills, and also some skills that you can work with your children at home. I have Google quizzes through Google Forms. As you can see, I already have 2 right here. I'll be adding some, changing some, but this might be if we are working on a theme, if we're working on a letter, on a skill in math, I might do just a really quick check just to see what their understanding is. Then also just some different activities that you can do at home to help support your children. Is your child ready for kindergarten? Ways to encourage math at home, reading, gross motor and fine motor skills. All of these are right here, just links that you can peruse at your leisure and just kind of explore on your own. Our next page is our school and district links. Here is our school calendar. The days that we are not in session are school holidays, when we start back after Christmas holidays, the last day. We do follow MPS school calendar. We don't use it to fidelity. There might be days that we are in session that they are not in session, but for the most part we do follow Montgomery County Schools Christmas holidays, Thanksgiving holidays, and their spring break, and as well as school closures. So most of the time, if they are going to be closed for inclement weather, we will be closed, and you will of course be notified through text, Class Dojo, our social media pages, email. We will sit there and make sure that you are aware that we are either going to be closed or we are closing early through all of those. And of course, we do reach out to our local media station, WSFA and WAKA, to make sure that they have the latest information as well. If we go and select more, we come over to educational resources. These are just some great resources that I have used personally with my daughter, that I also use in the classroom. The kids love them. One that I really enjoy is Starfall, because it incorporates math, language, arts, and music. It talks about calendar and seasons and different events. Like we've got the 100th day on here. We have Halloween and Thanksgiving. But it also talks about color, or your colors, CVC words, sight words. A lot of things that you're going to find will be right here in Starfall. This is by far probably my favorite page to use as a resource. Of course, right here I have created a Symbaloo page, and this basically, you'll see right here, links that I have provided. So anything PBS Kids, Reading Rainbow, anything that I feel that would be beneficial to you to use at home or for your children to use, I will sit there and put on my Symbaloo page, and you can definitely access that. So that is another valuable page to access. Our last page is just kind of helpful links and reflection. I have put things like sight words, jolt or fry words, or high frequency words. I'm sure you've heard those tossed around, especially if you have older children. There is a book challenge that is, I know it says 100 books by kindergarten, but it is actually 1,000 books by kindergarten. And this would be starting at 2 or 3. And you can sit there and record those and read them with your child. And I would suggest like kind of a you read, she reads, he reads, so that if you read a sentence, they read it back to you. And you're just slowly introducing the language and the reading. So you want to make sure that you're choosing age appropriate books for your children. But then it also talks about ways to practice sight words, ways to practice sounds, letter sounds, phonetics, rhymes. Also, like rhyming words, cat and hat. Also, let's see, reading skills. Has a lot of helpful links and sites that you can explore, ideas to help you at home with reading. Also with math skills, games that you could incorporate. A lot of the links that were on the previous page will definitely help in both sight words, phonetics, your letter sounds, your alphabet, and math. So that is definitely a win-win there. Also, gross motor and fine motor, we don't want to forget about those because they are still developing those gross motor and fine motor skills even through 3rd grade. And then also, these are sight words that we're going to discuss throughout the year. I know it says October. We might sit there and take those words a little bit slower this year. But one thing that we already have talked about is our color words. We're introducing our number words. Right now we are working through our numbers through 10, but we will eventually go to numbers through 20. We're also counting the days to the 100th day of school. So we will be sitting there and talking about just larger numbers to kind of incorporate that language, and so that they have heard it, they can start grasping some of those skills that they will need as they go into kindergarten, such as counting by tens and counting by fives. And then of course right here, because it is a class assignment, I do have a reflection. If you do want to click on that, that's absolutely your choice to do so. I thank you for listening and hope that this is helpful in finding links on my website and just as a quick overview. Y'all have a great evening.